There's an epidemic in America. Let me say that again. There is an epidemic in America. 22 veterans are committing suicide every day. More veterans are dying on American soil than in foreign wars. That's an epidemic. But there's a bigger epidemic going on. Children as young as 6 and 7 years old are being diagnosed ADHD and starting on medications. Children, when they're started on medications that early, are given the message that there is a pill for that. There is a pill for that. When something is wrong, go for the pill. Most of these veterans that are committing suicide are on medication. Most of these veterans are being treated by a psychiatrist. And most of these veterans have access to health care because they go through the Department of Veteran Affairs. Every week or so, somebody walks into a classroom and shoots it up. Somebody walks into a school and kills 8 or 10 people. There's a mass killing every week or so. I think last year alone there were 43 or so mass killings. And we talk about mental illness. So what is the solution? What is the solution? Is it medication? If these medications were working, I don't think we would have the number of suicides that we have. I don't think we would have these reactions from people that we're getting. First of all, a person who walks in and kills is probably very angry. There is no medication for anger. There is no medication for fear. I'm going to tell you a story. About 3 or 4 years ago, I worked in an agency, a mental health agency, a private agency. I saw 1,000 children walk into that agency, and all 1,000 of those children were given an ADHD diagnosis. That's humanly impossible. That is humanly impossible. And many of those children had never been seen in any kind of facility before. There was no communication with the school. It was the word of the parent and the word of the child. And a competent psychiatrist was making these diagnoses. After about 3 years in business, the state came in and the agency was closed down. The agency was a business, a private business. And the man who ran the business made over $32 million in that 3-year period. So he was able to hire high-powered attorneys that went in and negotiated with the state. He was fined, he was closed down, he went out of town and reopened his business. But here's the sad part. The sad part is, even though the state went in and closed this business down, of those 1,000 kids that were diagnosed ADHD, not one parent was notified that it could have been a bad diagnosis. Now, I equate that to a laboratory that does testing for HIV. And you find that that laboratory is giving out bad results. You have almost doomed a person if you've told them that they're HIV positive and they're not.